Hi, welcome to my channel. Since it's all but confirmed that Nintendo will be having a Nintendo Direct on Tuesday, I decided to make a prediction video for it. With it being almost 9 months since the last general Nintendo Direct, that means Nintendo is going to have a lot of content they have to push out. Starting with the beginning of the show, I think Nintendo is going to open up the show by showing off the new Ocarina of Time remake that's been rumored from Nate the Hate and several other sources. I think the reveal of this game will be slightly controversial because I think unlike the original Ocarina of Time art style, I think it's going to follow in the art style of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I think it will unfortunately be a $70 game, but will contain some new content as well as some changes to the old original content. With this year being the 40th anniversary of Zelda, I think this title makes a lot of sense as one of the two main games that we're going to receive this year. I will personally be very excited if this title is announced since I have not played Ocarina of Time for the N64 or the 3DS. I think Nintendo is then going to move on to showing off some of the new Starfox remake as part of the show in order to fill up some of the empty space that's going to be after the first initial big game. I personally feel like the Starfox game is going to be a big letdown. From what we've already seen, it's very much just a remaster, even though many people are expecting a new game that would have a lot of new added content. Having already received an announcement trailer for this game and an overview trailer, I don't think there's much new and unique content that Nintendo's going to be able to show off for this title, making this title kind of dull or unimportant. I see this game as kind of a cash grab that Nintendo didn't put a whole lot of effort into because they thought people would buy it, since Star Fox is not a game that we've received in a very long time. I personally do not care either way, as I have no interest in playing this title whatsoever. But those of you who are Star Fox fans will have to deal with that, I guess. If you don't like the game, I guess just don't get it. I think it's very much just kind of a poor title, honestly. It doesn't look very good. After showing off more of the new Star Fox game, I think Nintendo's going to move on to showing off some of the third-party developers' new games that are coming out. One game that I'm almost positive that will be there is Rhythm Heaven Groove, since that comes out on July 2nd. I think the game looks fine. It looks like it could be an enjoyable time, but I personally don't think I'm going to pick up this title. I'm sure Fortnite will be somewhere in the third-party games also, because they're always showing off something. But honestly, as a whole, I don't play many third-party games on the Switch 2 or in general, so I don't really care what's in this section. I'll probably just watch it in the background. After a small segment of third-party titles, I think Nintendo is going to move on to showing some games that are going to be coming to Nintendo Switch Online and Expansion Pass. I think one of those games might be Mario Kart Double Dash coming to the GameCube, Nintendo Switch Online. As well as Mario Kart Double Dash, I think Super Smash Bros. Melee could also make an appearance on the GameCube Online, but I'm not really sure, to be honest. We could also get some Switch Online games on the NES and SNES, but they won't be any big titles, so I don't know that Nintendo would show them off in the Direct. After filling us in on Nintendo Switch Online games, I think Nintendo will move on to announcing a new game. I think this new game could be the Switch Sports Resort for the Nintendo Switch 2 that Nate the Hate has talked about potentially being rumored to come out sometime in the late summer or early fall. I personally think Nintendo will take this approach, since they must have realized by now that adding DLC to the original Switch Sports will not improve the game, and a Switch 2 version will most definitely not draw in a bigger audience. I think this could be a super exciting title for people like me who very much enjoy playing Switch 2 games with their friends and family. I'm not really sure what the price on this would be, but I think it would be somewhere in the $40 to $60 range. I don't know that it would be a full $70. This game as a whole would make a lot of sense to be the game that gets announced in the middle of the Direct, since it would keep people on their toes and make them excited to continue watching the Direct. After that, I think Nintendo will move on to announcing some more third-party games and partner games that are going to be coming out in the second half of the year, as well as showing small sections of games that are going to be coming out in the first and second quarters of 2027. It's also definitely possible that Nintendo can announce some amiibos or other different collector's items for various Nintendo games during this time, but I don't know that that'll necessarily be the case. I think it's very possible that after that, Nintendo could move on to showing off some more info in different aspects of Splatoon Raiders that'll be coming out in July. I'm extremely hyped for this game and I'm very happy that it's only going to be $50 and cannot wait to find out more information about it and see how amazing it's going to be. I think Nintendo could easily take up a decent amount of time with this title to show off all the little details and sections of the game that we don't really know anything about yet, as well as how some of the game mechanics might work if they're anything different from the other Splatoon games. This should show the general audience that this is a spin-off that's actually worth buying and it could be a very valuable game in the Nintendo Switch 2 collection. I think finally, after talking about Splatoon Raiders, it'll be time for Nintendo to show off the second and final big game announcement for 2026. I think this game will be Luigi's Mansion 4. Not only did Nate the Hate rumor this game potentially coming out, but with Luigi's Mansion 3 coming out over 7 years ago, this is a game that I think is very much almost done with development and will be ready to be released. This will be a wonderful game to draw the general audience to and encourage them to buy a Switch 2 before the price jump. This game will contain very similar art and graphics to Luigi's Mansion 3, but they will be slightly improved visuals that will look very good and run very smoothly on the Switch 2. I think Luigi will have a very ambitious part of this game. I think Nintendo will very much use this for multiplayer, allowing one player to play as Luigi and the other one to play as Luigi together, exploring the mansion and finishing the mansion. I don't think Nintendo will show off a ton of this title, since they might want to show off more of it later in the fall to keep people more interested in it, but I think this will be the big holiday game. It will unfortunately most likely cost $70, since that's the standard price for Switch 2 games, and it will be a part of one of the mainline series. Now that I've talked about everything that I think will be in the Nintendo Direct on Tuesday, I want to move on to talking about everything that I do not think will be in the Direct. Brace yourselves, because the first thing that I don't think will be in the Direct is 3D Mario. Even though I really don't want this to be the case, Nate the Hate has made it clear that it sounds like this will be a 2027 game. I don't think with Nintendo's recent history of waiting a long time to announce games right before they release, I do not think it will be announced yet. I find it also very unlikely that we will receive any Mario Kart World DLC. I think Nintendo will wait till Mario Kart World completely dies off in order to release DLC to hopefully draw the audience back to the game. Honestly, I hate when companies put out DLC for games, so I don't really care if this isn't here. It's not something that really bothers me. One thing that I'm almost 100% positive will not be there is a new Kirby game. Considering the fact that we received a Switch 2 Kirby Edition game last fall, as well as Kirby Air Riders, I think it is very, very unlikely that there will be any Kirby content of any sort coming soon. I also feel that Mario Maker 3 is definitely a little way still from ready to be released, so I don't think this is a title that we're going to see in the Direct. Many of you have probably realized by now, but it's very likely that Super Smash Bros. Will not be in this Direct at all, given the fact that I think we are too close to the release of the next game to get more characters, but too far to get it announced. Another game that I feel is still too far away to be announced is a new Animal Crossing game. Since we got the Switch 2 update in the winter, I think it's very unlikely that this game is ready for release in the near future. Unfortunately, this makes me really sad because I very much enjoy Animal Crossing, and Animal Crossing New Horizons is one of my favorite video games of all time that I still play almost daily. Some other franchises that we will not see are Pikmin, any other Mario games, as well as any Donkey Kong games. Those are definitely not coming in the near future. I also don't think WarioWare makes sense as a game to release right now. But as a whole, that's everything that I think will be in the Direct and will not be in the Direct. If you watched the end of the video and you enjoyed hearing my input, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to my channel.